develop an empowering motivation for success. What's up, fam? It's November 10th, 2022, and it's day 41 of The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. If it's your first time tuning in with us, what I'm doing here is I'm actually choosing a card a day from T Harv Eker's Millionaire Mind Intensive cards. I'm reading the message on the card, sharing my thoughts on the message, and asking you as a viewer to share your thoughts. Whatever came up while I was reading the message, or possibly you've been using what's on this card and it's been working wonders in your life. And hey, I would love to know. Share in the comments. Let us know how it's going. Let us know how you transitioned, this message into your life. Because hey, I would love to make this a collective learning environment. And if it's your first time, if you missed a day, and you could watch these videos on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Rich Carbajal, any past videos as well as these future videos. These are the ones left. All right, and we have as mentioned, this 41 so far. I believe there's 50 cards total, so 50 videos with 50 messages of the secrets of the millionaire mind, and each one is different. All right, and it's something we need to take in. We need to learn from it, and then we need to apply it into our lives if we want to get and create that millionaire mindset or billionaire mindset. You never know, or trillionaire. Hey, why stop at millionaire, right? But other than that, let's go ahead and get to it. We'll go here. All right. So let's see what this says. It says, develop an empowering motivation for success. Develop an empowering motivation for success. If your motivation for acquiring money or success comes from a non-supportive root, such as fear, anger, or the need to prove yourself, your money will never bring you happiness. Practice coming from purpose and joy. Wow, this is pretty deep. So develop an empowering motivation for success. If your motivation for acquiring money or success comes from a non-supportive root such as fear, anger, or the need to prove yourself, your money will never bring you happiness. Practice coming from purpose and joy. So your money will never bring you happiness. So that's an interesting concept. Why? Because most of us, as we grow up in this world, we think that by having a lot of money, all of a sudden, our problems are going to go away. And, constantly you hear that most of the time, more problems come with money if you come from this, what it's stating here, a non-supportive root. If you come from a non-supportive root, more money is not going to solve your issues. If anything, you're just going to be broke, as we mentioned in another card. You're going to be broke at a higher level. You're probably going to be higher in debt. If you have more money, you're possibly going to get more people in debt because of your lack of financial education. Money doesn't solve like all the issues. That's why the most important thing, when you have a lot of money, is get financially educated. So here, you need to develop, as it says, a motivation for acquiring, or a motivation for success. Like, what's going to keep you going? And that's why it says find purpose and joy. One of the greatest things that we mentioned here in one of the cards is that of being grateful, learning how to be grateful. Because when you're grateful for what you have at the moment right now, you're able to attract more, and as you become more as you attract more, your level of joy, like you've always had your joy. Just because you have more doesn't really mean that you have more joy. You're just experiencing life at a higher level because one, even when you didn't have, let's say, the material things, you were still a happy person. And if you're waiting for you to acquire something to become happy, that's what it's saying. It's not going to last, right? It's not going to bring you happiness because you don't know how to enjoy the moment right now. So we have to find, you know, what it is that brings us purpose, right? What is the purpose of your life? That's why we have to dig deep. That's why we have to, become a personal development a learner, right? Personal development learner, someone, and it's personal development because you have to do this on your time, right? On your own time. This takes you. This is not something that's just like given to you. Like, hey, they could give you a shot, and all of a sudden you're just gonna become, happier, or you're gonna know all the answers. No, you have to develop it from within. You have to extract it, right? God gave us all a purpose in life, and most, the reality is we all come or grow up in different environments. We all have different resources, and we all have, like in poker, we're given different hands. Some hands are better than others, but that doesn't mean that we can't create the best out of what we have. We need to become resourceful with what we have. We need to make the best out of it. That's why you have, you get a 2-7, or you see these poker players getting 2-7s and they win the pot, or they end up winning the championship. Why? Because they knew how to play their cards. They were given this and they made the best out of it. So when we're here, we have to develop a sense of you sometimes hear the why. What's the why? Why do you want to do this? You know, and at the end, what's the purpose? Right? Like what excites you? What'll fulfill you? Maybe it's not, having a ton of money. Many, some people are happy with 1 million or a couple million, right? Some people are happy with thousands, tens of thousands, right? Depending on where they live. Because here in California, it doesn't go that far anymore, especially with inflation. But, others, they don't need the material things. They don't need the flashy clothes. They don't need the flashy chains, to be happy. Right? That won't bring happiness. If anything, it'll just, you'll be more cautious of where you're at because, hey, it might get jacked. I mean, we hear the stories, people getting, killed for their chains now. Their phones, you want to flash the new, the iPhones, and people are just walking by and snatching them while you're, doing your live or on a phone call. It's really interesting. So we can't come from a non-supportive route, or like the fear of being broke, right? If you have the fear of being broke, your money's not going to last, right? Because you're coming out of fear, not abundance. Everything's in the mind. Out of anger, trying to prove someone, that like, hey, you know what, I could do this. Like, no, at the end, what's the purpose of you wanting to do this? Because it's not sustainable. This is what it's telling us, right? It's not a sustainable way. And the money is really, is never going to bring you what you want it to bring you. At the end, we want to be happy. We want to be fulfilled. We want to feel joy. We want to feel peace, at peace. All the bills are paid, whatnot. And be able to do what we want to do with who we want to do it. But it can't come from a negative place. Remember karma, right? Karma exists. And whatever we put out exists. So if we're thinking negative, right? Even just the thought of thinking negative towards somebody or trying to come up on them, try to do the wrong thing, try to rob, it's always going to come back and it's not going to bring us happiness. Why? Because, it's going to have a ripple effect and eventually that effect's going to come back. So overall, we have to develop an empowering motivation for success. You have to find what it is that'll motivate you, right? Personally. And everyone's different. Like one of the things I do is always every morning is I listen to I listen to a video, a successful video, like on YouTube, motivational video, inspiring video, something that just get me going, right? But it only gets me going for a bit. Then I have to, from within, I have to really, connect with my goals. I have to connect with my vision, my long-term vision. I have to connect with what it is that I want. The clarity, as we were talking about yesterday, what do I want to create in my life? And that's my motivation, right? I have to think about my family, who it is that I want to affect, all the people all these messages that I want to share, that I'm learning. Hey, you know what? I know you will benefit from it too. That's why I'm sharing these cards, right? If you're watching this video, if you've never seen these cards, never heard of T Harv Eker, never been to his Millionaire Mind Intensive, it's a blessing, right? And this is my purpose, right? This is what motivates me, and not to lie, it's past 12 o'clock midnight. It's 12, so it's November 10th. It just, became 12 something, So now it practically went into November 11th, but, it's my motivation. This is what keeps me going. Right before sleeping, I'm sharing this video with you. I'm dropping this video and this knowledge of what I'm learning, and sharing with you. Why? Because it's my motivation, right? This is what keeps me going. This is what fulfills me, right? And this is what we have to find. This is the level you have to get where it's not work, right? It's more, it comes from the heart and it makes you feel good. It brings you happiness. So I think that's pretty much it. Wow, this is the longest video. We're already at, 12 minutes? Wow. So no wonder it passed 12 o'clock. So develop an empowering motivation for success. If your motivation for acquiring money or success comes from a non-supportive root, such as fear, anger, or the need to prove yourself, your money will never bring you happiness. Practice coming from purpose and joy. From within, baby. All right? So with that, let me know your thoughts. If this is a good video, like it, share it. This message needs to be known, right? Along with all the others. Go back to YouTube, watch the videos, or Instagram or Facebook. Like them and share them as well. Subscribe to my YouTube channel at Rich Carbajal. And with that, share your comments as well. Let me know how it's going. Let me know any feedback you have relating to the videos. But with that, love you, God bless, and I'll see you tomorrow.